Hi, we're the digital learning team. I'm Leah Harima. I'm here with Lily Gensby and Fern Johnson. And we also, for all of these tools we're talking about today and beyond, we do trainings for, and we can come out and work with you one-on-one or your staff, planning periods before after school and the like. By the end of today's session, you'll be introduced to 6 PISD tools. You're going to understand how they align with the PISD instructional model and be familiar with all of them a little bit more to get your hands on it, play with it, hear from each other on how you have used it, and know to go where for support.
You may or may not have seen the new and improved version of the PISD instructional model, but we wanted to make sure that you knew about the new updates from the digital learning team. So we've added a technology integration component into each of these elements, and they're just additional strategies that can be done online to help achieve these proven, tested elements, which help you design the learning and provide feedback and elevate that student engagement as well as the knowledge and understanding for students. So we are focusing on a couple, three elements this year. And one is feedback. And you'll find that these tools have a lot of great ways to give feedback. We're going to talk about cognitively complex tasks for independent, but also whole group or small group engagement, and just being able to ask more complex questions, having students do tasks online that really raise that rigor and that level of cognition. And then the last one is asking in-depth questions. And you'll see that the tools that we're going to share today really kind of facilitate that, make it easier for us to get students to respond to those really in-depth questions.
You're going to look at slides, whatever this slide is, the number, and then the next one after it. And you're going to read about what this tool is. So this particular one is Nearpod, and it's a presentation tool. I'm not going to read this to you. Who uses it, right? So you guys can read that, how you access it. And then if you go to the next slide, and then you're going to see a video of an example, and then you're going to listen to that. And then after you listen to this, you're going to go to the next slide after that. And the question is, how does Nearpod align with the instructional model? So think that through and think, after learning about Nearpod, how does this align with the instructional model? And then on the next slide is where you are going to write your key facts or things that you've learned about the tool that supports that alignment to the instructional model, and then also list about 1 or 2 ways that you can use this particular program, which is Nearpod, in your subject, your situation, wherever you teach. And if you click, like I'll have Leah click in the blank space underneath Nearpod team, you'll be able to do is there is a space for you to put in your answer. So we're going to be sharing this. And do you see where it says click to add text? That is where you're going to start adding text. All right. So read about Nearpod, look at the instructional model, and then on the slide where it says Nearpod team, share 3 to 4 facts, write it all down, and some 1 or 2 ways that you can use it in your subject or situation.
So y'all just real quick in WebDesk where to find that Nearpod app. So if you go to WebDesk, you'll see it. It's PISD Nearpod Library. Okay, in case you're playing around in Nearpod. Okay, 8 minutes starts now.
I love what you guys have here. Sorry, I am moving one of the slides here. Okay, So when it comes to Nearpod, we're talking about sharing some key facts and notable features about this particular tool that supports alignment to the instructional model. So what we're saying is when we take a look at the instructional model and we see the different elements that we are supposed to, ascribe to, um, then when I think of Nearpod, which is an interactive tool that I can present content to my students in a way that I can give them feedback, I can see what they're thinking and things like that, I would say to myself, okay, Nearpod is a great tool when it comes to chunking content, right? So that's one of the elements that you see on the instructional model, chunking content. I like that somebody said it breaks from the monotony of daily class routines, and that's great. But as far as Nearpod is concerned, I know that I have different slides. That means I can naturally break up the content and I can ask them questions about what they are learning throughout the duration of the lesson. That completely fits in to chunking content and what that all is about. You guys unmute and let us know your thought process.
The students are, because they're used to just Google Classroom and just textbooks and paper, the Nearpod just gives them something else to work on that is interesting for them, and they're able to manipulate it by themselves, and it provides engagement for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Absolutely.
WeVideo is amazing. It's an online web-based video editing tool. We all have access to this in Webdesk. You'll see the little Webdesk icon there. You can open it up, and there, if you haven't looked at it in a while, maybe you used to use it and now it's been a while, then it has changed over the last year. So there is a classroom piece in there now. You can connect your Google Classroom class in WeVideo, so it's just rostered by that. And you can have your kids work in groups. They can collaborate on creating a video together. They can import videos that are existing. Either they took a video on their phone or on the Chromebook, and they can piece it all together to make a nice video with their audio recording, with the transitions, music. And what's really cool is that with WeVideo and Plano ISD, we pay for the premium access for all the features. We're talking stock pictures, stock video, audio, sound effects. It sounds like a lot, and it is, but it's all packaged in a way so that you can very simply drag and drop items into a nice linear format to where it just makes a video for you all together. It's wonderful. Littles can use it, older kids can use it, and there is a simplified editor where you can just make it very simple, or you can go hardcore and have the more full featured editor. So I mention that because whenever I teach WeVideo, I always start with simplified. And then when students or teachers are ready to go to more layers, they can just up it to full featured, and it's very easy. So I was just talking a whole lot, but I'm just so excited about this tool. That's just a little bit about it. On the next slide is an example of our colleague Clara's son, and he made a video about the what's it called, cycle, the water cycle. And so you can see how he added text and audio to that. And then I would love to give y'all some time to make the connection, explore it a little bit, make the connection in with the instructional model where you think that could fit in. Definitely, I'm just going to kind of give you some answers. It definitely engages the kids, and you can preview content with this. You can have kids show what they know by gathering everything that they've done and put it in a nice, final format through a video. So make those connections with the instructional model. And then in here, we are going to set the timer for 6 minutes and let you play around and then answer these questions. Coming back together, look at these excellent, excellent answers. You guys are going to have this slideshow to keep. So if you ever want to come back to it and draw on each other's ideas or what you wrote down, Consider this like a notes catcher. So you have a way to have a great resource to draw on for best use cases and getting some good ideas. So I love what the ELL teacher wrote. Help them, when kids record themselves. I don't know if you've ever used Flip, or obviously Seesaw is one of them, where kids can record themselves speaking. And then over time, you can look back and see their progress, correct them when needed on the spot. It's just such a great thing to have a recording of them with tools like this. They learn from each other a lot as well. And instead of me reading this all out, does anyone want to come off mute and share their thoughts and reasoning behind what they wrote?
Okay, I'm the ELL teacher, and
Mhm.
our kids are really very visual. So if you just tell them this is a river, I mean, okay, they might remember the words, but if you say this is a river and you show them the video, they will not forget that word. So for me, it's engaging, and it's just kind of refreshing for them to see the word used really against the video or the picture. So this one is a tool that I can use.
Great. Okay, perfect example. Thank you for sharing that. That's
You could
okay.
use it just for students to, show what they know, or like just like the example we learned about the water cycle, make a video to show us what you know, or even more open-ended, like this is the standard, show me how you mastered this standard, and make a video about that. They could do it in groups so that they're collaborating, which ties back to the model. And then that itself is engaging in a, cognitively complex task, showing what they know on their own and creating that product.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
100%. I love it.
Totally. Okay, guys. So you all have WeVideo, your kids have it. Just so that you know, we have gone out and trained during planning periods, or I'm sorry, for secondary mostly, and taught kids how to use it during every class period. It it's just like a 40-minute training. We can come in and say, "Hey guys, this is how you use it. Here's some tips and tricks." They take off with it. It is crazy how fast these kids learn. So please use us. You'll have our information at the end. If you just need a thought partner or a tech nerd in the classroom to just partner with you while you're teaching this, we can teach that part of it. And then you really make the meaning of how to use it with what you're doing in class. So we're going to move on to discovery education. And Lily, did you want to talk about this one today?
I would love to. Give me a 1, 2, or 3 in the chat about what level of experience you have with discovery education. And I would love to know it. Okay, yay. If I know that within discovery education, we have our science tech book, and that is an add-on to discovery ed. And so sometimes people have a misconception that discovery ed is, oh yeah, that's the science tool, but it is so much more. And so it's been okay. So I've got some 1s and 2s. That's awesome. Are we able to just kind of, well, we'll give an overview. So DE, it's got great videos. So oftentimes if people are saying, oh, I really miss Brain Pop or Brain Pop Junior or some of the video assets. What happened to the streaming videos that I used to, be able to pull up, Magic School Bus or Bill Nye the Science Guy. Um, th- those tools, while those tools were great, Discovery Education has a huge bank of tools, videos, as well as like read alouds. They call them books, video books, and they're leveled. So it's got some great resources, and that's across all content areas. So if you think, oh, I teach math, so it's not really going to apply to me. Wrong. There are so many great little, just really short clips on, multi-digit multiplication, for example, or just little interactives as well. And what is also a bonus for Discovery Ed is that you can kind of create your own rubrics or quick little quizzes or activities. These are what they call These are activities, but they also have these little channels, or I feel like they parallel with playlists, maybe if you're a Spotify or a music person. So they've got groupings. So if you click on the D for or the three lines up at the top left corner in Discovery Ed, as you're exploring, click on that explore button up there. And by the way, if your eyes drop to the what, I can browse standards. Yes, you can find the standard or the TEAC and look through. But this Explorer allows you to, let's scoot up and see. Okay, here we go. All, all of these, a variety of resources. So ready to use activities, quizzes, interactives. You can make your own quiz. And you're thinking, gosh, I thought it was just, one-sided or whatever. Really look through. It doesn't matter what content area you teach. Also, there are resources in Spanish, in other languages, Chinese, French. You would be so surprised. So do take a few minutes to kind of explore what Discovery Ed might have and how it might relate to your content area. It's available to all PISD staff and students. Do consider in how many different ways or what kinds of elements that Discovery Ed could help you accomplish in the classroom. Easier, faster, better. They are all already vetted as top-notch resources. So take a few minutes and think about what instructional model element could help you address, and then like specifically one or two ways that it might help you in my classroom situation, my subject, my content area. Okay, so ready, set, go. Stimulating intrigue and interest, and finding a variety of learning options for our students. What other element in our instruction model do you see fitting in? Promote wonder and inspiration. I love that. And using this, visuals are so important for ELLs, and that deepening that understanding. Yes. And being able to respond with writing and use text evidence. There's a lot of activities where Discovery Ed has resources for you to practice how to use text evidence. So I do love that.
Next, y'all, we have 3 more tools, but not enough time to dive into all of them. So I'm going to let you pick between these 3. Lily, Fern, and I are going to go briefly over an overview of each of these, and then we're going to set the timer for 6 minutes and let you pick which one you want to do, starting with Adobe Express. So Adobe Express, it's another app in your web desk. When you launch it, you and your kids have it. When you launch it, it takes you to a beautiful place to add graphics, edit videos, pictures, all kinds of stuff. If you've ever used canva.com, it's kind of like that when it comes to some of the graphics. There is an AI piece built in now and a lot of fun features. So it is so fun. I love it so much. I use it for everything. Our splash image on pisd.edu/IT is made completely with Adobe Express. All of our advertisements, like the FOMO ad, made using that. So I love it. Play with that one. That is Adobe Express. And then Fern's going to tell you about Cami.
All right, so Cami is wonderful. It is basically at its heart a digital annotation tool, and you can access it very easily. And there's instructions on how to access on the for the Google page. But Cami also has a lot of accommodations that are built in. It is for secondary teachers as far as the premium features. The premium features include the accommodations, and that is for secondary, and they have that. The elementary has the free version. So basically, if you are in secondary, I would definitely be checking out Cami. And but anyway, so you have ELLs, people who have dyslexia, whatever. Cami is an excellent tool to take a look at.
Yes, Seesaw. So another tool that is a district supported tool. It's a licensed tool, so you get all the bells and whistles. It allows students to interact with the content, and teachers and parents also to be able to use multimodal modes. What does that mean? Videos, audios, I can voice record, I can send you a picture, a file, I can jot down a little note, and all those tools are available to everyone for communication. And if you pop into Seesaw, you'll be able to click the plus sign and explore the tools.
We're going to set the timer for 6 minutes. I would love for you to pick one, and we'll come back together in just a minute. So I see a lot of us wrote in Adobe Express and Cami. If anyone wants to come off mute and share, I would love it. Yes, secondary has Cami premium for staff and students. So does anybody want to share?
I'll come off mute.
Yes, ma'am.
I did Adobe Express, and I had no idea that this app even existed. And I loved how they get to choose to make an Instagram story, a TikTok, because these are things that especially older elementary and middle school and up, everyone is very familiar with this. And so I think that they would put more attention into projects that are using these platforms.
Absolutely. And to show them that whenever you create a social media post, there are formats, they're not all the same. When you post things up on the format, things could get cut off and resized. So to show them that, absolutely. And there's animations too. You can have it animate on Instagram. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, thank you. And what's the most important piece of information to add on everything? Time, date, location, person to contact, all that fun stuff. Grab people's attention. I was a marketing teacher, so I'm like all into Adobe. By the way, there's an app on your cell phone. Get the Adobe Express app. You're welcome. It will save you so much time editing pictures. Oh, got any Cami people that want to come off mute and share?
I have two students of mine who really they're teaching me how to use Cami, and they're really so good at it, and they really like it. They like it better than the other the slide things. And yes, they are teaching me how to use that.
Very cool.
Now that is awesome. And also, as a teacher, Cami has an amazing amount of templates at your disposal that is built within Cami. So when you go in as a teacher in Cami, there are templates readily available that you can just choose from. Let's say that you need a Venn diagram for whatever reason, it's already there. And then you're able to actually assign Cami assignments from Google Classroom. Where you go to Google Classroom and you click Create. If you get in that drop-down box, one of the choices is Cami assignment. And you can do all of your grading within Google Classroom.
Okay. You can also get Cami certified. We are all Cami certified. You can get Seesaw certified. Adobe Express, we're part of an ACE program. You can totally join that. I'll link all of that on here. So if you're interested in learning more. And Seesaw, did anyone want to say something about Seesaw?
Here, a lot of times we think that it has to be mutually exclusive, but Seesaw can be just another tool. Doesn't have to be the main tool, but I love how you can quickly add a link into your Google Classroom. And one of the things that I saw in Seesaw is that you can actually use that as a rubric. And so think about, making it easy for yourself and not having to create something, but you get a 1, 2, 3, or 4 star, and then just rate that assignment and then be able to see quickly who's struggling and what groups you might need to create.
On the next slide here, slide 30, I have hyperlinked each of these images to their corresponding page on our hotspot. So every single one of these is pisd.edu/ and then the name of the product. This one is DE. Okay, but when you go to those, you can find more information about how to become Nearpod certified, Cami certified, WeVideo. They have a little certification program for just about all of these. I don't know about DE, but the rest they do. So DE has one. Awesome. So I highly recommend those. I know we don't have a whole lot of time to do that kind of PD, but if you do, you typically get like an hour of credit or more, and then you can go in and put that in PowerSchool, and then you get for real credit for it. Here are all of our resources. PISD.edu/IT is our instructional technology site, and DLT is our contact information. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.